What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another helping of r/fatlogic silliness. Checking out a couple of posts and trying to get to the bottom of them. This is episode 74 in the fatlogic series. And I'm excited to see what the fat activists have got in store for me this time. So without further ado, let's get into it.
If I trusted doctors 100%, I'd be eating 1,200 calories a day. Huh. Doctors regularly tell patients to eat 1,200 calories a day to lose weight when they don't have nutrition training, especially women. 1,200 would only be okay for a toddler. Thus, I don't 100% trust doctors. I do my own research also.
Okay, so I guess we're starting off today with another extremely dubious claim about calorie requirements for adult women. Cool. From what I've been able to gather, 1,200 actually is about the right number of calories for a toddler. But the way this post uses that information to imply that 1,200 must not be nearly enough for an adult woman is extremely misleading. Like, toddlers are rapidly growing, and adult women are not. You can't just compare them and say, adults bigger than toddlers, so adults need more food. It doesn't work that way. Is 1,200 calories enough for all adult women? No, many women will eat significantly more, even when dieting, but it will be enough for some women, and whether it is or is not enough has nothing to do with the number of calories that toddlers need for healthy growth. It's apples and oranges, so there's no reason to bring toddlers up at all, other than to lead people astray. This poster boasts that they do their own research, and you know what? Good for them for making the effort. But if the conclusions they reach rely on a failure to differentiate between adults and small children, then what can I say? Maybe they would be better off just listening to their doctor.
There was a recent tragic event in Orlando, in which a teenage boy died on an amusement park ride. There are stories blaming his weight, the ride operators, and lack of oversight, but I haven't seen anything blaming the architects/builders of the ride, who couldn't be bothered to build a ride that was safe for fed bodies. If they prioritized to build a ride to accommodate all bodies, the boy might be alive today.
Wow, this story is really damn sad. And it feels a little weird to include it in my video like this. But I think it's important to respond to the ideas being put forward by the post. So I'll try to be as respectful as possible. I'm not in a position to determine who is most at fault for the tragedy that took place. And I imagine that there will be some kind of investigation into who should ultimately be held responsible. But according to an article that I found about the incident, the seat had been manually adjusted to allow the boy to get on the ride, despite his being 90 pounds above the maximum weight that was specified. And if this is the case, I don't see how it makes sense to blame the ride's designers for what happened. If the designers provided adequate warning about the ride's limitations, and this warning was ignored, the responsible party or parties would be those who allowed for this to happen, whether they be the ride operators, their supervisors, or park patrons, not the people who built a ride which, as far as we have reason to believe, was perfectly safe within the constraints in which it was designed to operate. In a perfect world, all rides might be able to accommodate people of all sizes. But this obviously presents a logistical challenge, which is why so many rides have limitations like minimum height requirements. However, this is not something that should ever be getting people killed. I resent this post attempting to shift the focus away from the actual mistakes that resulted in this poor guy's death, towards a broader social commentary on fat acceptance, or whatever, because that is doing the victim a disservice. And it's not going to prevent something like this from happening again. Which is what we should be concerned with first and foremost, if you ask me. But yeah, irrespective of any of that, this whole story is a tragedy. And regardless of who was at fault or what we should do in the future, I'm just really sorry to hear about it. Moving on.
Let's be honest. Women only praise big girls because they don't see them as a threat. Lol. If a big girl posts a pic and they comment, "I love your confidence," they don't see you as a threat. Sweetheart. Lol. Women just be lying. Look at this sheet. Y'all treat big women like special ed kids while trying to humble, threatening women.
Well, I'm not a woman myself, so I can only understand the female mind up to a point. But I suspect that while this might be an overgeneralization, there is probably at least an element of truth to it. Obviously, some women who compliment big girls are being totally genuine, and I wouldn't want to assume the worst of anyone, without good reason to do so. But if someone is giving you compliments like, "I love your confidence," it's hard not to take that as backhanded, because the implication is basically, good on you for being brave enough to show your face looking the way that you do. And that's not nice. I don't think that being fat is a good thing, because it's unhealthy and limiting in a whole bunch of ways. But I do think that fat people are worthy of being sincerely complimented, just like anyone else, and I certainly don't think that they deserve to be treated as a joke or condescended to. So to anyone who might be inclined to give these kinds of fake compliments, I would say, don't do it. It's not nice, and it's not cool. On the flip side, I have noticed a tendency among some fat women, and some thin women too, to tear skinny and conventionally attractive women down for doing basically nothing, and this is likely caused, in part, by the sense of feeling threatened by these women that the post describes. As with the fake compliments, I view this as a pretty immature and toxic behavior to engage in, because it's effectively using people who did nothing to you as a punching bag to resolve your own feelings of inadequacy. And that's just selfish, not to mention unproductive. So yeah, I guess my overall take is, can't we all just be a little kinder and more sincere to the people around us? That doesn't seem like that much to ask for.
Today's reminder: you are not morally superior because you worked out today or ate your vegetables. Anti-diet coach.
Oh boy, it's our wise mentor, the anti-diet coach, back again with another much-needed lesson for us. Notepads out, guys. Just kidding, it's actually just more tired drivel. Surprise, surprise. No, exercising or eating vegetables doesn't make you morally superior, but no one is saying that it does. Because, for the millionth time, this is not about morality. It's about health and well-being, and the important role that weight and diet play in each. That's it. Bringing morality into it is just a way of deflecting attention away from the real harm that you are doing to yourself, because it allows you to pretend that weight loss advocates are insufferable moralizing busybodies, rather than people who just want the best for everybody, and are tired of being bombarded with clownish misinformation every time they go on social media. So in summary, get real, that's it. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these posts with me, and hearing my thoughts on them. Even if the incident referenced in the second post was really heavy to read about. What do you think? Is it reasonable to compare the calorie needs of fully grown adults to those of toddlers? Are the amusement park ride designers to blame for the accident, for not making their rides totally size inclusive? Do women only praise big girls because they don't see them as a threat? Does working out and eating salad make one morally superior? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll go on all your posts and leave a bunch of backhanded compliments like, I really admire how you don't let your ugliness keep you down. And stuff like that. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.